Hey guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson, and I would like to thank you for all of my loyal listeners who've come back time and time again to listen to this ridiculousness. Sometimes it's trash. I'll even call my own. I call things trash a lot, and sometimes I'll say my own podcast is trash. I'll get into that. Put a pin in that. I'll revisit that. So if you are new to the struggle, the Struggle is a podcast where I invite my friends on and we talk about things that we're struggling with. Being an adult, there's numerous things. There's four things that happened to me today before I came here that I was like, oh, this could be one of my struggles. So it's an ongoing issue. If you're an adult, you know, I don't have to tell you. So hopefully this podcast will bring some joy to your struggles and some relatability and you can laugh at it instead of, drinking your sorrows or contemplating suicide.
This is uplifting as hell.
Alrighty, you just got here. It's like
Rate and review. You've been busy.
if my podcast stops somebody from committing suicide, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I have gut feeling. I don't. It's suicide is sad for this is my opinion. But suicide is sad for the people that are left on our because they're missing that person that they loved and cared about.
Absolutely.
But for that person that's out. Good for you. Like, you don't have to deal with this shit anymore. Like, they're not having any more struggles. You know where they are? Kicking it in the universe. Just up there, just watching the rest of us laughing and be like,
You're laughing.
I got out.
It's so sad. Stop giving people ideas.
No, I know. I'm not encouraging suicide, but it's just an interesting perspective that I have on it because I know life is challenging. Anyway, this is where I'm supposed to plug my own stuff.
Yep.
So I'm so bad at this. This is my least favorite part of the show. So you can follow me on Jokes by Candice on social media and CandiceThompsonComedy.com if you haven't followed me there. That is also where you can find my show dates. And if you haven't subscribed to this podcast, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms. You can rate and review us on iTunes, but only rate us if you have good stuff to say. And if you haven't told somebody about the show and you're listening to this regularly, you should do that. Just because do us a solid. Do the show a solid and tell somebody. Don't be selfish. Now, I'm going to introduce my hilarious guest for the day.
Hey.
And I'm so happy she's here. Everybody, give it up.
Who? Candice.
Give it up.
Who? For myself.
Yusuf's
Yes.
here.
Yes, thank you.
You're here. Call in if you would like to give it up. We have no phone line. You guys, here we are with Caitlin Weierhauser. I'm so happy she's here.
I'm so happy to
Hi.
be here. Thanks so much for having me.
I like to, plug yourself. Plug your social media. Where can people find you?
I'm at Uncle Kate across all platforms. So old. It suck.
I would like to know where'd you get Uncle Kate from?
It's a really old nickname. I don't remember exactly where it started, but it's jumped friend groups and states. Like
Hilarious.
it's come with me.
Was it from a family member they gave it to you, or just a friend? Like
no,
in school?
you know what? I think it might have started when my niece was born, or maybe even before that. Because of my nephew, I used to go to my stepsisters and go play with my nephew.
Yeah.
Go hang out with them, and she would always be like, Auntie Caitlin, Auntie Caitlin. I'm like, really? Let's just call it way more of an uncle. You know this. It's less,
it was more fitting.
I'm not going to pick him up from, but I'd probably be there for his first tattoo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
an uncle.
It's an uncle responsibility that you
And then I
have.
became friends. Like, I had a friend I worked with who was like newly out. And the joke was like, she was my little nephew and I was her like elder gay uncle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
elder gay uncle. I think that's what you should
Everyone
change your Instagram.
needs one. Old gay.
I don't have any gay uncle. I might. Maybe they're not out, but I don't think so.
Mm.
And I've got a decent amount of uncles.
But socially, do you have any? See, everyone needs them.
I've got. He can't be my uncle because we're like the same age.
It's a vibe. It's not an
It
age.
is
It's a vibe.
Yeah, no, he's not. I don't think I have. I don't think I need one.
Yeah. You need uncles
Do you
in your
have any
life.
recommendations?
Me.
She's like, girl, I'm
a
here for
mess.
you.
I'm a
I will be
mess.
your uncle.
It's a lot of day drinking. The
So,
job.
Hilarious.
It's Uncle Kate. The end.
So the uncle followed you
Yeah.
across
From Portland.
From
to,
Portland. Is that where you're from originally?
I grew up in rural Oregon, and then I moved away.
Okay.
When I was like 2021. I
Okay.
moved here actually,
Oh.
and then ended up in Anaheim and Santa Ana, and then Vegas, Portland, San Francisco, Portland,
Okay.
just around. I like the West.
I fucks with Portland.
Yes.
Horde. The first time I had been there was it Bridgetown?
Maybe?
No,
Or
not the
LJ.
first time. I went there and I did Helium
Yeah.
one time before with Bobby Lee.
It's the best club.
It's so fun. I gotta go. I gotta get back up there. And then I did Bridgetown
Yeah.
after that, which is no longer in existence.
I know.
But maybe we can manifest another comedy festival
Yeah.
up there if Bridgetown doesn't happen. But the food there is amazing.
Yeah. And it's cheap. It's so cheap to eat and drink. Like it's
But
just,
now it's getting more expensive.
Yeah.
They gentrified.
well, they've been for a long time.
Yeah,
but it's gotten to a point where it's like you have to go seek out where's the cheap place instead of like, I don't want to spend $15, $18 for lunch.
I know. If I
Like,
want to do that, I'd be in LA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you
Stupid.
It's ridiculous, but I do enjoy it. I've got friends that are up there, and
Yeah.
I like the vibe of not caring. Up there, it's like there's no
Loose.
judgment from anybody.
Yeah,
Like my
it's loose.
friends, you can wear sweatpants with stains.
Nobody said you couldn't.
Nope.
That was never.
That was never a rule.
No one also piped up with maybe not. You
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
Yeah. Yes.
Just wear pajama pants
Why?
your whole life. I don't know. Whatever.
And that's Portland. Is
Yeah,
it's
your
whatever.
choice.
I feel like that should be on Portland's license plates. Whatever, man.
Meh. Better than the tagline they stole from Austin though, which is keep Portland weird.
That's really their tagline.
Yeah.
And it was Austin's first.
Yeah. Isn't that the most?
That's kind of shady, Portland.
pretty
Yeah,
shady.
no. And I've only been to Austin once, and I did enjoy myself there as well.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if I had to pick which one would I go to, I might go Portland.
Maybe I was in Austin for the first time this year
Mhm.
in June,
Mhm.
and it's wet. It's so
The
wet.
humidity, you mean?
Just swimming through it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did like as a chronic face sweater.
That's kind of my
It-
shit.
And I like that everybody's doing it too. And I'm like, yeah. It's like,
We're all just committing to this
even
damp
playing
face look,
field.
right?
Look, everybody's wet. Nobody looks weird, huh? Let's embrace it. Shirt sweat all day. Okay.
Austin, we damp. That's
Yes.
that should be on their license plate.
Yep.
So
But
stupid.
the food is good. Everything is cool.
I enjoyed it. I would like to go back. I haven't been since I went once, and it was in 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's been a minute, but
Yeah.
I did enjoy myself, so I would like to revisit,
Yeah.
and
they're
then it'll be a fair
wild and
comparison.
a lot of hype. We were in that like downtown 6th Street.
Oh yeah,
Sixth
yeah,
Avenue,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And there was just like a man
A man?
loose
What do you
with
mean?
2 snakes, like the biggest snakes I've ever seen. Like a
Pet snakes?
hope so.
No, just random. He just found them on the side of the. We cross your fingers.
It was
yeah.
like a yellow boa constrictor, like an albino boa, and then just like
don't-
another snake. And
2. Why do you need 2?
And your eye, it's interesting. It's like an optical illusion because your eye goes immediately to like the
To-
bright yellow
of course,
abomination.
of course.
But then
It's the ginger of
yeah,
gingers
it's like
of
a
snakes.
highlighter of a snake.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so big. And then it's like you're looking at it for a couple minutes, and then it's like you rest, you're like relax your eyes, and
then
3D
the other
image,
one
and you realize,
comes-
Here's no snake.
Yeah,
It's
2
another
snakes.
one.
It's. Do you remember those pictures from like the 90s?
Oh yeah.
Those one where you couldn't see what it was, and then you let your eyes relax, and then the
We
other
thought
thing,
that
the
was
image pops out.
Art. I just want to point out that
for
specific time.
for
in
sure, we
history.
thought that was art.
We had a frame.
I'm sure.
One.
Did you?
Like a glass frame.
Was this in Portland?
Yeah, well, yeah, outside, like, when I went to high school. I think it was, like, dolphins. We're like, that's
That
art.
sounds about
That
right.
is art.
It's pronounced Ort,
Ort.
Caitlin. That's
oh,
Ort.
what a
No, that is the
perfect-
definition of Ort.
What a time to be alive. Beautiful point.
What were
in
they?
history.
Magic Eye. That's what
Magic
they were.
Eye,
Magic
yeah.
Eye. Did you guys still have it? Someone still has it. You didn't.
We got rid of everything, but I hope that is in somebody's house somewhere. I hope
It's-
that somebody got it from Goodwill and was like, sweet.
Yeah, no, it's score. It's one of those things where I feel like, you know how art's supposed to appreciate over time, where these are the opposite.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you paid $35 for it today, it's
From
worth,
the mall kiosk.
yeah, it's worth 7 cents.
Negative. You owe money.
And that is what Ort is.
We used to do the thing. A lot of siblings growing up, and we'd have like a poster on the wall with that magic eye.
Yeah.
And the joke was to see if you could trick one of your siblings into like getting real close to it, like because you're like, oh, start with your nose touching, and then you
Hilarious.
just smack their
And
head
then
into
you
the wall.
make their nose bleed.
Never not funny. Perfect joke structure
Breaking
right
a
there.
cousin's nose?
Always
Always
say
funny. Never not funny, guys.
It's great every time.
And you started comedy in LA?
in Portland.
In Portland, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just passed 6 years, like last.
Look at
couple weeks ago,
you.
yeah.
You're a little nugget still.
Oh,
You're a
yeah.
nugget baby in comedy.
Weird start. I started at 30, so that was a choice.
It's
Can you imagine?
no, I wasn't that far from you when I started. It's oh, can I ask you what were you doing before? And then how long did you know you wanted before you know you wanted to switch careers, and how long did you know that you wanted to be a comedian?
Not long. It was kind of a Hail Mary pass.
She was like, I was walking down the street,
Yeah.
got hit in the head by a football.
It's a sad story. You tell it so much in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, how did you start? I'm like, well, it's going to bum everybody out, so buckle in.
Oh God, guys.
Buckle up. I was living in San Francisco working at a software firm and kind of like as a support, like project manager type role. My little sister died by suicide, speaking of.
Oh.
And I had a full...
Can I take my foot out of my mouth now?
No, it's been in there. It's fine.
Like-
It's comfortable. Don't spit it out now. I mean... It's like, wait, this is going to come up. Oh, she's going to hate this.
No, I'm not. I want this. This is what I want. I want to, as comedians, we
Yeah.
take our pain and we make people
That's
laugh from it. And
exactly what I
so that's
did.
why, I
Yeah.
know it. We're cool guys. We're
So
cool.
I had that, like, coming to Jesus, like, breakdown. Well, call it what you want.
Yeah,
Where it's like, oh, no, we only get to do this one time.
yeah.
And I don't want to be doing this. So I started going to this, like, grief therapist when I was in
Wow.
San Francisco. Really, really cool lady. It was amazing. And she recommended that she was like, have you ever thought about starting stand-up? And I'm like,
Stop it.
and my initial reaction was like, can you focus on your job right now? Seems like a wild thing to pull out.
Bitch.
I'd be like weeping. Because you have to go through like the whole history when you're going to therapists
Of
and stuff. And you
course.
have to like go back.
Of
But I just
course,
be like
yeah.
weeping. And I'm such an easy cry too. So it's like really
Yeah,
cathartic
yeah.
for me to be in therapy. And I'm like, heads up to anybody new. I'm just going to weep
I'm
for
a
most
crier.
of this. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's just
This is
my
how I process.
resting. Right.
So just be like weeping. She's like, have you ever tried stand up? Really? But then
That's
it planted the seed.
Hilarious.
So I quit my
Your
job.
therapist planted the seed for you to
Rage
get
quit
into
it.
comedy.
Yeah. A therapist.
Because they know
recommended
comedy is
stand-up.
therapy also.
Yeah.
Like they know that
Yeah.
they have to.
Yeah. So it was like a wild thing to
Wow.
recommend. But yeah, I quit my job and moved to Portland and then started in Portland. Like I moved because I like the scene there. It's cheaper to live there.
Yeah.
I knew some of the Portland comedians. Just like, great, I'm going to hit this. And wrote 3 minutes and practiced in front of my roommates, I think 8,000 times. Hairbrush, whole thing. And I
Wow.
like made them sit on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
couch.
yeah.
Like, oh, you're little.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a concert. Um, everyone, it will start at 7:17. Sit in your rows assigned. Thank you. And then went to live and practice. And yeah, so I started in Portland.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Like, do you still talk to your therapist, and does she know that you are now like a working
I-
comedian who just did? Well, not you taped it
Yes,
with me.
yeah.
We taped Late Show with Stephen Colbert together. Caitlin's is going to air later this summer, but yeah, that
Green
was.
room buddies.
I
That was
mean,
so
we
fun.
shared a dressing room and everything.
Yes, that was very fun.
That was very fun.
Did I tell you what like cracked me up the most? I think about that day was the God bless the staff there at Sullivan Building that took care of us. My favorite thing that happened that whole day was we'd all been outside smoking upstairs in
Oh, yeah.
the sixth floor, whatever
Oh,
we
yeah.
were, all over. And one of the PAs or I don't know somebody
Uh-huh.
walked around with the earpiece in, just being like, "No, I don't know where any of them are. They've scattered." Just out of his mind. And then 2 seconds later, because I was behind him on the stairs, and I was like, "Nope," and turned around and started walking the other way. 'Cause I was like, "No, I don't want to be caught."
They've
I don't know for what.
scattered.
And then he goes all the way upstairs, comes back down, and goes, "What? You let him outside?" Like it's just
Losing his mind. It's like, okay, first of all,
I could not.
that's hilarious, but also know, like, we're about to tape television. We're not going very far.
know.
Like, where are we gonna go?
But we did like everyone went. It was like
Of
scatter.
course, we're
Get out of
comedians.
here.
It's like we're insubordinate
Yeah.
all the time. If you let us, we'll be base jumping off
Yeah.
the roof.
Yeah, just somehow
It's
up in the
just like-
rafters. Somebody's in the back of the audience. How'd you even get back there?
Like we behave like children.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't
Drunk
recommend anybody
children.
dating any of us.
God
yeah.
damn it, no.
That's and here we are. Like, yeah, we're legit about to tape a television performance, and we can't focus.
Yeah,
No.
choosing. Do you want to make up to the very last second? That was not our fault. But
Oh, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of stress, but it
we
went
didn't
very
do.
well.
I almost went on with my belt undone. Did you know?
What? No, I think one of my buttons was undone, and I'm not even kidding.
We had one job. It's like,
You
look
have-
normal.
Dress yourself. Dress yourself.
That
Don't embarrass us.
beautiful jacket.
Oh, Can
Beautiful
we spend a moment
jacket.
on the
Yeah,
jacket?
I'd love to.
Because now we have to
I'll
make
say his
up.
name.
Yeah, they listen to that. They know who we're talking about.
It's episode exactly.
I've had him on as a co-host of
Yeah.
my show before, so we're super cool. She's talking about Caitlin's talking about Rail
Real
Battle.
I met him earlier this year. He's so cool. He's so
He's-
dope. He has a very flawed opinion about your
About
jacket.
my jackets
Oh, it's
specifically.
rude.
Well, that's not his only flawed opinion. He's got
Spicy.
Raw's got a lot of flawed opinions that to him are always right.
Yeah.
And Rel, yeah, no, he's ridiculous. But he insulted my jacket. And
It was
here's the
funny,
thing.
but it was mean.
It was Rel is being Rel. Like that, you can make fun of the jacket. I'm so confident in this jacket.
It's so good.
Thank you. Okay, so there's a comic that's he used to live out here. He's in New York now, named Robbie Slovic, who's very funny. And he sent me a DM on Twitter to say, Candice, and I told Rel on the show, I was like, you are the only person. I've been getting so many compliments about that jacket. And then so Robbie sent me this DM on Twitter and was like, Candice, great set on Colbert, even better jacket.
Yeah.
So I took a screenshot, and Robbie is one of Rel's good friends. So I took a screenshot of it, and I said, well, Rel hates it.
Yeah.
And then he commented back and took a screenshot of Rel dressed up in a donut costume from when he played Sweatpants on Superior Donuts on CBS. That was like his character. His character's name was Sweatpants. So you can imagine what he had to wear.
Cool
so
outfits.
donut mascot costumes. So he sent me that. He said, I've seen Rel in worse on television. So I was like, and I of course had to
That's
send that to Rel. So I
hysterical.
was like, burn. But you know,
Get out of my life.
some people, and I don't want to say that it's always men, because I get this from women too. But some people, they see you do something good and they don't want to give you all the credit, so they don't want to
just a little.
they don't
bit,
want to
just
blow
a
your head
little
up
bit.
too big. But
Yeah.
I've experienced it a lot from men in the form of negging, and so I don't know if you're
Totally.
you're familiar
Yeah.
with negging. Okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar, because
They try it on everybody.
They try it on everybody, even
Yeah.
if you're not the one.
I feel like a
that's
practice
right.
round a lot of times before
Right.
they actually go to women.
Right. They're like, let me practice on this lesbian real
Yeah.
quick.
queer, exactly. To be exact, queer.
Let me practice on this queer
say
real
queer.
quick, and then we'll see if it works on
Yeah.
Candice.
But that is typical, though.
Yeah.
Men do try out a lot of theories on me. Just
that's
entertaining a lot of
hilarious.
theories. I'm just like, hey, so let me just ask you. Oh, this is gonna be a way. Okay. What's it gonna be?
Do you have an example of one that's happened to you recently?
I have a joke about the 2 different times that a man, apropos of nothing, has just suggested to me that my look or the way that I present is because I wish I had a dick. 2 different whole men have just tried that out on me. A lot of questions about which bathroom that I'll use. Because like it's stressful. It sucks in public a lot. 'Cause, like it depends on kind of like if I'm more butch presenting or like less. Like it's women's, by the way. It's a women's room every time because I'm not trying to get hit for most of my day.
Oh, that's not on your agenda for
And
the day?
they're gross in there.
No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, I have seen also some terrible women's bathrooms as well, so I can just imagine what they're doing in there.
Absolutely.
So,
Playing weird.
I don't want to just be hanging out in there for no reason.
Play murderer, period. Like it's a lot of blood.
What?
I don't know.
It's a crime scene.
Nobody knows.
No one knows. It's a question mark. So this is funny. So kind of I guess is a good time to intro my struggles, because of what you were just saying. It kind of ties into what you were just saying, like about the ridiculous things that men say in front of you.
What happened today?
Well, so this didn't happen today, but my struggle is my podcast from last week. I had on Eric Griffin.
Pretty wild.
I had on Eric Griffin, who we're super cool. Every time we see each other, we have conversations, we talk, and we catch. It's just we have fun. Now, I was unprepared for, and I purposely don't ask people what their struggles are before, because I like to be surprised, and I like to be in the moment and just have organic conversations without any agenda, without anything, just riffing how comics do. Now, this is one time where I wish I would have known, because I'd have been like, can we not?
Or like,
Let's talk about something else.
Suss it.
Do I need to start vetting my guests? Okay, so if those of you who have not listened to last week's episode, it was Eric Griffin, and his struggle was basically
Acting
the Me Too.
right? I'm sorry.
I mean, that's
Not sorry.
basically and here's the beauty of why I also like, because I debated. I said, this is a kind of a controversial episode, and I was like, did I handle myself properly? And I have all these, questions, and I doubt whether or not I should have said more. But then it's like I've got a job here of also not only making a show that people want to listen to, but I need to. I don't want to be yelling at somebody on my. I need to. I want to make it pleasant, and I want to try and convey what I'm feeling at the time in a way that is palatable for my listeners, but also for the guests, and so we don't start screaming at each other.
Right.
But and also, I think that there are some people that might be a waste of breath talking to, and maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong, but this has been an ongoing thing with this person.
Yeah.
So I have heard him say stuff before, and because even the first thing out the gate, he told me, I realized I didn't even finish my sentence, but his struggle was basically the Me Too movement, which is a bold choice of struggles.
And listen,
especially when you're on a podcast hosted by a woman.
I hate to spoil this. His struggle wasn't that men are raping.
No.
That wasn't it. It was, the other side
the
of it.
struggle is now I have to watch my behavior. Like, how
Yeah.
do I behave properly? You guys basically, and this is an analogy he said we ruined the party.
Yeah, over and over again.
Yeah.
He had different analogies for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just,
And they were
snitching.
bad analogies.
Oh, listen, exactly.
They were bad analogies.
Okay, so I would just like to highlight maybe what my favorite parts of that episode
Please.
was it was directly after you had brought up that it's not that women are like seeking fights or conflict in any way, is that we just wish women just don't want to be objectified.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and now here's an analogy where a woman's body is a cookie. Go.
Here's an analogy. I'm shoving a woman's body into my mouth.
You don't hear it. You don't hear it.
I would also like to say, that is a brilliant thing to pick out of the episode, because yes, spot on. But I would also like to say, we walked to the parking lot to get our cars.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Eric. This was great. Hug. Sloppy, damp,
No.
wet
No.
kiss all
No.
on. I'm not kidding. I'm not making
No.
this up. I'm not making this up. And I'm like, and that's what
On your neck or face?
on my neck, not on my face, but still, it's connected.
That's even
Close
worse
enough.
somehow. That to me is way worse. Because you know who doesn't kiss you? Like, your grandma kisses you on the cheek.
On the
Your grandma
cheek.
never
Right,
kissed you on the neck.
That is, you're right. I didn't even think about that. But that is more, for sure. It's more intimate. Because I think just in germ land, because I'm kind of like a germaphobe, but I'm like, I don't want anybody's lips on my face.
Yeah.
But in that moment, definitely the neck.
Full neck.
Full neck.
What is he on about?
Full, and I was like, so when I said some people I think are beyond like a conversation, like this, whether I yelled at him or not, it wouldn't make a difference, because we literally sat here for an hour and talked about that, and then you still had the nerve to go back and do that right after we had, because it doesn't, words just pew, 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 like whatever. So that was a special case, but it was an uncomfortable, I actually had people sending me messages like, he was my least favorite guest. It was uncomfortable.
Wild.
To have the nerve to come on here and to be so like unself-aware that you come on, like this is a normal struggle. Like this, if you have that struggle and you should think, okay, this is a struggle that I have, but at least have the self-awareness to be like, this is not appropriate to talk about. I need to figure out.
This is a me problem.
Something I need to figure out for myself.
Yeah.
So, but I posted it, Caitlin. I posted it because I was like, you know how as women we have problem with people believing what we say, which is part of the whole Me Too movement. So it's like, in this, I was like, I'm gonna leave this up because this is not me saying anything. This is someone overtly saying that themselves are problematic by just listening to what they have to say. They're Me
showing
Tooing themselves.
Exactly who he is. He's just showing everybody exactly who he is. Yeah. And I will say, like, it was interesting listening to you specifically, like going back to what you said before. It's like questioning. It's like, did I handle this correctly?
Yeah.
But what I kept hearing from you is the way that he's your friend.
Yeah.
You talk to him because you're friends.
Yeah.
And when he was saying some of the stuff individually in a certain context, it's 100% plausible, acceptable
For sure.
But he was using noticed was like more generalized terms, but you're his friend and you're thinking of it and hearing it in best case scenario or just normal case because he's your friend, you know him.
Yeah.
You know that he's capable of some things, not others, and you're giving him benefit of the doubt, best case scenario.
Right.
That happens so much for
sure.
men
For sure.
that it becomes their experience is believed to be universal.
Right.
And when it's really just, and like listening to that episode, what keeps coming up is it's Eric and his friends. It's just those boys. It's them. It's just that group. It's like, well, I can't keep talking this way if someone comes around and I can't do, that's not a universal, that's you and your dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, on one hand, he wants the writing room to be conducted in a certain way.
Right.
Where you could just be like, yeah, that joke didn't land, but
Right.
like not everybody's mad. But he doesn't want to apply even that base standard to even his friends because he doesn't want
to be held responsible.
he wants to be able to keep thinking the way that he does and believe that every other man thinks that way too.
Yeah, which is not the case.
And that it's hard. It's just
To
he wants to believe that it's just hard.
You're literally saying, I can't respect women.
Yeah. And I shouldn't have to. It's so precious. It's so precious.
It was kind of
It's
when he
so
was
precious.
saying it, I was like, this is what we're talking about?
Yeah. I just want to be able to. I just want to be able to. I just want to be able to.
Can't you just let me?
Yeah.
Can't you just let me be gross and creepy?
Yeah.
Can't we just do this?
But then, but I'm also going to get so mad if you call me trash, even though I'm acting
of course.
trash.
Trash. I'm acting exactly like trash. But you can't call me on it.
That must be so hard.
There's no, you poor thing. You poor thing. So, yeah, no, that's so. If anybody listened to that and they were uncomfortable, that's what these conversations. I like the ones that get a little bit uncomfortable because it makes us think and it puts us. Yeah, and you look at yourself in a hopefully in a different perspective. Like, oh, well, I never considered that, and I don't know how I feel about it, and I feel weird, but. Now I'm going to find out why I'm feling weird about this right now. And hopefully we learn something and grow from it. I don't think Eric will, but.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know him that well, but to me, somebody that spends that much time and energy coming up with reasons and justifications and, like trying to find excuses, rationalizations for it, instead of being like, let me just take a beat.
Yeah.
and
go to therapy?
Yeah.
Or talk to one of my friends about this?
Think a thought, feel a feeling.
Are you feeling the same way? Am I alone in this? Yeah. And then we can have a conversation.
And am I fucking on one?
The first thing out of his mouth was an example of how we not got into it, but I called him out for being misogynistic at the Comedy Store in the hallway. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but that's not a word that I throw around. Like if I said that you were doing or exhibiting some type of misogynistic behavior, it's because it was like, and there was I remember there was another female comic that was there in front of me and she agreed 100%. And, he called me out on that in the beginning, and I wish I could remember what he would say because I would have thrown it back in his face, but I don't remember what he said at all. But I know for a fact that it was...
You don't keep that stored in there, by the way.
No, why are you still... That was probably 2 years ago?
And he's still mad about it? That's what he brought up? That was the first thing?
Yeah, the first thing out of his mouth. And there, you can tell, just on this last thing I'll say about it so we can move on, but I feel like his underlying tone... like of coming on this podcast was like, I'm going to call her out on this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to come on her show and call her out on this, take her off guard. And like, I'm going to let her know that this is not cool. Like me having to, like, sometimes you're a woman, but you're a comedian. And sometimes you put being a woman first. And I'm like,
that was the wildest thing. Do you know that okay. The whole thing smacks so much of like PC culture gone wild, like gone mad, like you just can't say anything anymore. No, we just have voices now and get to say, shut up, knock it off.
That's all it is.
Act right. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He's
and
been set in his ways.
But you don't get all the privileges and respect of someone who is respectable, and you don't get the privileges and respect of someone who acts right.
Right.
You just have to deal with it.
For sure.
They're the first ones to be like, it's not fair.
For sure. And as comedians, we have to suffer the consequences of the words that we say.
Oh, well.
And so he asked me, I just saw him last night at the store, did the episode drop? And like, first of all, you shouldn't be excited about it. This is how unself-aware.
Why are you excited?
This is how unself-aware. Like, you're excited that these words are being said? Cool. You're doubling down. And he knew it came out because he commented on it when I posted it. So
whatever.
Like, get out of here, Eric. Anyway, it's the last I'll say about it. But so if you haven't listened to last week's episode, check it out. It's funny. Now we're going to get into why we came here, which is Caitlin's struggle?
Oh, God damn it. Pick one. I made a list.
I know there's
you
so.
know?
I mean, we don't. If
So
we the
Virgo.
momentum, if it keeps going, sometimes the momentum of the first one fizzles
Oh,
out. We can
yeah.
move on to the next one. But if we, we'll get into as much as we can, and I can always have you back. That's the beauty
Hell yeah. I love this. I love it.
of being a comedian. We just can talk whenever we want to, and then put mics in front of us, and we
It's
can
the
just.
only thing I wanna do.
It's all the time. It's great.
Top of the list, people who whistle.
Oh.
Depression, motivation, money, gender dysphoria, controlling other people's feelings, policing gender, and acting right. That's my list. What do you got on yours?
There's
Which
so
one you wanna hit?
many on there. What is your top priority? Well, I want to start with you. I
Oh
want to
my
go with
God.
what you want to talk about.
The
first.
one that hurts the most is the one that I'm going to talk about because it stings and it feels like it's the one I least want to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's, of course, the one I got to dive into because I got to find out. Like, yeah, I've got to explore it. And it's money. And money is linked to so many other things on that list.
Oh, of course.
It's linked to like, mental health and depression. Absolutely.
sure.
Finding like motivation. What is motivation, by the way? It's lying to yourself, isn't it? That's it. If I know that, then I'm good. And I can keep doing it.
You're not wrong in that.
How am I 36? And I'm like, wait.
You're
It's just lying to yourself the whole time?
yes.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And
Shame
I
to this.
do you understand that the people that are the most successful in anything that they do, it's because they have a mindset of they are unstoppable. I'm going to do this. There's nothing going to get in my way. And they just don't let the doubt ever come into the picture. And if it does, they suppress it so much.
Yeah.
So it can come into dangerous ground where we're talking about like presidents and other people that have
Yeah.
gotten to high power positions, CEOs and famous people, comedians and stuff like that, because they don't have that chip in their head that tells them no.
Slow down.
So being normal and having more of like having self-doubt to me is normal.
Yeah.
And it lets me know you're more human than these people that have this unwarranted confidence.
Yeah. It's like the type of drive where it's like, you seen like the video of like the hamster in the wheel, but then it like loses his footing and he just starts spinning around, but then doesn't miss a beat and just keeps running on that wheel. Like that's
want that.
an unstoppable
Yeah, you like I just
goddamn force.
completely fucked up.
Yeah, you just rocked your whole world and then didn't even stumble, just like right back on it. I am the hamster that gets off and thinks about things.
Has to recollect,
Snap
gather
and
my
drink
thoughts.
water.
There's a lot to unpack here.
How
I
did that
just tripped in
happen?
front of everybody. There's so much pressure.
You know what? I've been meaning to stretch more anyway. And I don't even like that wheel that much.
Yeah, you could also maybe blame the wheel. That's
Totally.
a whole way
Get in
we
there.
can go down that.
It's so productive.
Maybe this wasn't the right wheel
Yeah,
for me.
stupid
Like there's so many
foot.
layers. My foot. Maybe I should
shoes.
get bigger shoes or smaller. Maybe I should stop wearing shoes. All of
Yeah.
these things, those come into play when we're talking about like confidence and whether we made the right choice in life by choosing the careers that we've chosen.
And this takes so much gall. The audacity.
audacity
that
of us.
the
How
audacity.
dare you?
It takes gall. It's also hard for me because it is so unstructured. We really are just like choosing our own adventures and making it up as we go. Like we get to like create what our like jobs
Destiny.
look like.
Yeah.
We get to create what our careers look like.
For
we get
sure.
to pick and choose and then hope and pray
That
and
it
then
works
we
out.
have no control over any of it.
Yeah.
And that's the funniest part.
Yeah. But we do actually
Yeah.
have. We do have control. And the only reason I'm saying is because I've been like this. I'm on this. I meditate and
Dope.
and do all this every day, and like I've been visualizing things. I've been visualizing what I want for myself, and it's
Dang.
legit been happening.
That's
like down
incredible.
to. And so when I say you do have control, it's just the doubt is never going to go away. If you're a normal person who cares about people,
Yeah.
it's never going to go away. But you need to. You're so funny. You're so funny. So it's like. And I know that someone could sit there and tell me that. And it's like, but it's not going to make my doubt go away. And it's not going to make me feel like, oh, I should keep doing this for another week. But you need to keep telling yourself that. I used to make fun of people that did affirmations.
I
Not
know.
to their faces, but like to
Right,
myself.
behind their back, like
Yeah.
a Christian.
Who puts who puts Post-its on their mirrors in the morning?
Who are you now?
I don't do that, but I say affirmations when I meditate.
What do you say?
It just depends on. I do guided ones, so I don't have like memorized in my head. It's
Yeah.
like they'll say it and then I repeat it. But like they'll say stuff like you are the creator of your own destiny.
That's cool.
Any like you are a creative genius, things like that, and then it really does. It's a subconscious thing where it seeps into your. It changes like the wave patterns in our brains,
Mhm.
so that our brains start thinking a certain way, and then
Yeah.
that actually starts manifesting itself.
I read this like incredible book. Well, read's a strong term. I became familiar with
Yeah, I don't be
a
reading.
skim. I don't know. I have more ADD than I have anything else in my life.
Yeah, I think I suffer from.
like
the
I
same
get
thing,
through
so,
it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I
Yeah.
got the concept, but it was like the magic of the brain or something, and it was how you can like create neural pathways and how the brain does this in response to like traumatic brain injury, physical brain injury, kind of way, like thing like that, where it will just be like, oh, so we are now missing this chunk that is responsible for like wiggling the fingers on your left hand. Your brain will be like, give me a minute, rerouting.
Well, we'll fix it.
Yeah,
Right.
and we'll like
There's
bring
another
up new
way.
ones.
It's like ways.
Exactly.
It's like ways for your brain.
Where it's like too sensitive. But yeah, and that's like how like depression thought patterns get ingrained so much because it's literally the path of least resistance. Those neural
Absolutely.
pathways are so well worn and you're so used to doing it. It's like to get out of that like toxic and like negative thought space where you're just like, I'm not shit.
Right, those are
everything's
just
shit,
habits.
I'm not shit. Everything's shit. Yeah, you have to like break out of that and
Yeah.
literally like rewire your brain in a way. And it's fucking hard.
It is hard, but I will tell you that meditation does help.
That's incredible.
100%.
Bori's been on that too. Shout out David Bori. Bori's been on this meditation
gotta
thing.
have
and he's
him
been
on. Yeah, yeah,
hitting
yeah.
me with meditation and checking
I'm
in
telling
about
you,
it.
and that's when you have to when you start hearing it from like you're like, why are these people saying? And it's like
Yeah.
you have to start listening because
Mhm.
I honestly feel like the universe will tell you, like it'll present things to you, and you'd be like, okay, whatever, and you ignore it. 5 years go by, presents itself again. You're like, and then
Yeah.
something happens, and you're like, God damn it, the universe just wants me to do this.
Yeah.
And you just have to listen. So like, and that's how it happened for me. Is like with meditations, like I had numerous people telling me, and I was
Really?
always like, okay,
Yeah.
And then eventually it got to a point where it was like, oh no, I need this.
Yeah. What am
Like,
I doing not trying it?
Yeah.
That's like, I
Yeah.
don't have any. I don't have a reason.
Yeah.
I just don't like
Ye-
it, and I
well-
only think I don't like it because I've tried 2 times.
Of course.
And I've gotten into it. It's like bathroom time.
Yeah.
Is like that's a good mental health space. Like I
You be
feel like
meditating on the toilet.
exactly. Well, yeah, like in front of the mirror.
The toilet is my church.
It's a lot of
Candace.
preening. It's a lot of hair products. It's a lot of like moisturizing. There's a lot of bathroom time. So like put it on in the bathroom and start, and then like immediately get distracted and wander off and realize
I know.
I'm 20 minutes.
No.
I've had a snack and the thing's still just playing by itself in the bathroom.
And you're like, oh, I always started meditating. I should
stupid.
probably revisit that.
What was I supposed to do?
What was I doing?
What was this?
Well,
for?
It's
I'm not good at it.
but it's like how you're saying how those thoughts in your brain about you not being worth it and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. This will also become a habit, and it will just
Yeah.
become like, and you'll get to a point where it's like, oh fuck, I
That's
didn't have time
solid.
to meditate today. So it's just you'll get there, and it's I'm not you
Yeah.
can't force anybody to try, but I'm just letting you know that is one way to fix those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Because and money is the same thing. It's all
Yeah.
attached. Money is money. You can get to a place where you don't worry about money.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
it's-
where the good is.
It gets so
It
frustrating.
keeps coming.
Because it's like, and you're completely aware, well into my 30s.
Yeah.
It's cyclical. It's always been cyclical, always going to be. It's feast and famine. There's these phases in your life, and especially if you're like me, like you've chosen a lot of different jobs even before you got into comedy,
Oh,
you know, and like
for
I've
sure.
worked in a lot of different places. It's always like, and I like to be able to move too, and that's always like a financial reset.
Moving, yeah, it'll
Yeah.
set you back.
Yeah, like I mean, from state to
$3
state.
grand.
Once I'm in a place, I never want to leave. But like, yeah, it's like I don't want to live in Nevada forever, so I got to keep moving.
Right, right.
But yeah, and this is just that, and I know at a 10,000 foot view that this is that this is just a hard, rough patch, and I'm going to be able to look back at it, and it's like keep that perspective like locked in.
Absolutely.
But going through it sucks so much.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, like I saved up my money for a good year, almost a year and a half before moving here,
Uh-huh.
and was working 3 jobs.
Oh,
Going
Jesus.
up every night in Portland. Was going on the road as much as I could. Wasn't a ton, but like a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Like I shot a movie, so I had that money, and that money all got me here. You know what I mean? Like I took that money, and if you want to know something real personal,
yeah. Please.
there was a choice that had to be made for myself where that money could have been used for top surgery. So like I'm non-binary. gender, I don't care.
Yeah,
I
she's like,
feel
whatever.
both or neither.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But I do have this thing. I've been diagnosed with gender dysphoria twice and body dysmorphia. It's just, I don't need these. I'm good.
Yeah.
I would love for them
Yeah,
to just
you
be
donate
removed off
them.
my
Do
body.
they have like a titties,
I wish
like a
they
lock for
did.
love?
I told my stepmom, and then it's like, you ever hear something when it's like while it's coming out of your mouth, and you're like, nope, get back here. So I was like so earnest, just straight facing my stepmom, and I was like, I wish I'd just donate the material. Nope,
No.
that's not a thing.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, if it was stupid, I heard it. But there was a choice. And it was like I was started down that path of like, because it's a long process, and it's like you really have to go to a lot of medical professionals to like keep proving that you like are this way or whatever.
Right.
And then you have to do an elective surgery. And I got really, really, really stuck on that. Like I know what I ideally want, but I don't want to take the path to get there. And that's where I kept getting stuck on. Is it's like it's an elective surgery. It's a major surgery.
Right,
like,
right.
It could just go bad. It's expensive. I could use this money in so many different,
Right.
ways. Like, so I did get stuck on that, and I chose to move to LA, and I think I made the right choice. But like that comes up also. Like it's
Like,
that
should I
pile on
have?
stuff. Yeah.
Should I have?
And then just like giving it another year. But I don't like to be in that place either. And
Of
I'm
course.
usually pretty good about like being resilient on that. Like, don't fall into that negative thought pattern of shoulda, woulda, coulda stuff.
Right, right.
But like, definitely regret the stuff that you did. That's what I'm good at. None of
Is
that's
the-
hypotheticals. No.
Yeah, no. She's like, I'm here for the regret.
Oh, I regret. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The stuff I already know.
But it's like, I feel like,
I feel like I made the right choice though.
yeah, even if you didn't make the right choice, which we don't,
Yeah.
I feel like there's
It's
no such thing
it's
as
irrelevant.
I feel like there's no wrong choice because where you are right now is where you're supposed to be.
It's where you're at. What are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Change it? Cool. Go
Right.
forward. Yeah.
It's all about the mentality that you have moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. The money stuff. And like, yeah, it's frustrating to watch it slow down because like since April, May, it's been like, wow, that June, July calendar is looking a little
that. Look at all
sparse, like a
these-
desert.
Do you remember, did you ever see the Joan Rivers documentary
I don't know.
where she opened up her calendar and she was like, my biggest fear is having an empty calendar.
Ugh. That's the thing.
And at her age,
Yeah.
the documentary was, she was probably in her late 70s, if not
70s,
80s.
yeah.
And I'm like, first of all,
it never goes away.
never goes away. But I'm going to tell you right now, mine is going to go away because I can't wait to retire. I look at people who are over 65 that are still working, like all these politicians that are running for president at
know.
65. What do you,
No. No.
who wants to keep working?
Where's
I
that
do
motivation
not.
coming from? That's where I start to doubt the motivation. Is it coming just
'cause-
from a place of like control? You
I-
just have such a boner for control?
I think for a lot of people, yes. I
Or-
think for sure.
Altruistic purposes too. I do forget
Yes.
that some people have
Some
pure,
people are good.
pure and noble
They're not in this industry,
talents.
but some people
or on this
are
planet.
good.
They're not here, but sure. Ideally, I read about it once.
It is disheartening because you think, oh, I have to have that to get there, and it's
Yeah.
like, what if I'm not built that way? What if I
Mhm.
don't have that? Because like this weekend, for example, like I said to myself, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do any shows this weekend. I'm taking the weekend off. Here I am still podcasting. But I mean, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not doing any shows. I'm taking the weekend off.
Yeah.
And I love relaxing.
I know.
I love working, but I can't
Ugh.
wait to a point where I can stop doing it all.
Have you
and
tried
then
laying down? Okay.
so good.
Basically the best thing we've come up with. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
So that's why I'm like, who are these people that in their
Yeah.
70s and 80s are still
God bless 'em.
grinding? And
Yeah.
is that is it like, I guess there's no bad or good. I guess I'm looking at it like, is that a bad trait to have? It's
how
just a
you're-
trait.
Yeah, it's just it's either how you're wired or the choices that you continually make every day. Like my folks, like my dad, my stepmom, they're the most active, busy bee,
Yeah.
semi-retired people in the world. And
My
they
parents
both,
too.
yeah, they both like worked kind of seasonal jobs. Like my stepmom was a teacher, amongst other things. My
Mhm.
dad was like a builder, amongst other things.
Mhm.
And so they've had this opportunity kind of throughout life to like what they call is retire early and retire often. Like make sure you like it. Like
Hello.
work when you need to and then do things that you want
Wanna
because this
do,
is all
right.
there is. You
Right.
know,
This
you
is all
gotta
there is.
enjoy it. So like they still travel a lot, and like they do it on this like shoestring budget with like friends and this incredible network of people that they know, and they work when they're traveling too. It's like very much favor based
Right.
economy, like trading
Right.
stuff for, and they're happy doing it. Like that's what makes them happy. That's what fuels their joy for them is to stay busy. Like they didn't tango all the time. It's the cutest shit you'll ever see in your
Aw.
whole life. It's so cute.
Where do they live?
In Maui,
They're
and
they
like
live in
a
the life.
converted little, like not a barn, like an outbuilding my dad renovated to make a little studio apartment for
See,
them.
that's
And
the goal.
yeah, they travel. They're in Oregon right now.
Living in paradise. That's
Yeah,
the goal.
yeah, absolutely. Got to stay retired.
I'm working so I can retire.
retire.
That's and just stay
Yeah,
retired.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm so much. I am. I'd say a little bit similar to my dad in that way. Like I know I'm so much more happier with a job. Like I am. It's like people are dogs. Like I am that dog that like loses its ever living mind if I don't have a job. Like just
sure.
give the duck. Like just let it think it's doing something. Just throw the ball. Throw the ball. Just throw the ball. Because if not, she's gonna eat the couch. Just throw the ball.
Occupy him with something.
Yeah, I do need structure, and I know that. And this has been a wild time, also, like living by myself for the first time. Kind of. That
that's
is wild.
great. How
Somebody come get me.
That's fantastic. Well, that's
Yeah.
a feat in itself. People don't realize how expensive LA is. And if you can
Yeah.
afford to live out here by yourself, you've
Yeah.
already won.
Yeah,
you can retire now, Caitlin. I don't know if I've told you, but you can retire now. You're
I'm gonna
good.
be homeless.
What part of town do you live in?
Highland Park.
Highland. Oh, I love Highland
I
Park.
do too. I really love it. I really, really love it. I'd love to stay there for the entirety.
Yeah.
I'm not,
It's
yeah.
a very cute. It's got a lot of character. I like the
Yeah.
restaurants there.
and
It's
I'm
just
right
a
on
cool vibe.
Figueroa, and it's still more of the mom and pop shops than like the new sparkly ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some,
For sure.
but yeah, it's super walkable. Like it's just nice. Like it's just everybody out.
If you're in LA, guys, go visit Highland Park.
Yeah, take a little stroll. Eat some
what
good food.
what are your ultimate goals in comedy?
I hadn't. My focus hadn't been on getting in a room for a while because I shot a movie last year.
Congrats on that.
Thank you very much. It was what a fluke. What a time. How was that not supposed to happen? It was a Disney movie. It was a
That's
live action. They put my whole, whole body in a Disney movie.
What
It's,
character were you?
Flo in this movie called Timmy Failure. It's coming out. It's supposed to come out in November with that Disney Plus, that Disney streaming service.
It's amazing.
I play a biker librarian, and it required no acting. It was the most natural I've ever. Like, just do this line, and I'm like,
It
I'm
was
just gonna
a
probably
role
just
that
do it how I'm
was
gonna say
made
it.
for me.
Like perfect.
No acting required. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It was so fun. Craig Robinson was in it. Too.
That's
We had a
amazing.
blast, yeah. So that was amazing, and that got me thinking because I'd never, like, I did theater. Of course, I did theater. I did theater as a kid, but then
We know.
I was asked to stop auditioning because I was so bad at it. So then I went and
Aw.
learned lights and sound. Like I'm always
Wait,
been
who
that
tells you to
kid.
stop auditioning?
everybody. I got asked twice to stop taking voice lessons because there wasn't shit they could do for me. I didn't have that strength. So what I did, because I'm a badger, part-time badger,
A honey badger, to be specific. You just
was
keep
I got
going.
linked up with this director in like the bigger town over in Eugene. So I
Yeah.
was like going to school outside Eugene High School. And then I learned to drive on the way, working for this director in Eugene, learning lights and sound and stage tech. And the first job that she assigned to me was like stage managing. And I was like, that seems like a lot. She's like, no, I can't work with you until you learn how to talk to adults. So this is your job.
Hilarious.
So she's like, put me in charge of props for one play just because you have to go and yell at people and like get their, like, to get it reset, And
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
I can't work with you unless you learn how to
Yeah.
speak to adults. So I was like, okay, speak to adults. So it's like a very formative, it was an amazing opportunity, but I never thought about acting. And then that thing happened, Disney thing. and I
That's
was like, this
amazing.
is so fun. Are you kidding? This is what you guys have been doing? This is awesome.
What do you see?
So now I love it.
Like,
But I want to do it more, but it's
It's-
1,000,001 all the time. Auditioning.
yes, but
fun.
just keep
Yeah.
focusing on. That's what I'm saying. Like with the visualizing and the vision boards,
Yeah. Are you
like,
on that?
you are going to eventually do that because that's what your whole life is about. Has been working towards these things.
It does feel
So
like
it just
that.
naturally is. That is the direction the universe is taking you. it's just when those bumps come, we can't get defeated.
Yeah, we just gotta wait it out.
You know?
And get a job.
Yeah, like go back and tell those people who told you to stop acting to go fuck
Look at me
themselves.
now!
I was just in a movie with Craig Robinson for Disney. Now what? I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because who'd have
Feels
thought?
great.
Like, I wake up every day and I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is my life.
Yeah.
We're doing what we love.
Yeah.
And how many people can say that?
It never doesn't feel weird.
Yeah.
It never, yeah. Every day it feels like, okay, we're just going to keep pretending this is all right.
Like, this is me just being an adult right
yeah,
now.
I feel like I'm getting away with
murder.
anything. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I we speak from just comedian experience, but like to everyone else who's listening to this right now who is not in entertainment, like just do your passions. Do
Yeah.
what you want to do. So many people are miserable because they are going through the routine, the motions of whatever it is, their day job that they hate or whatever. And
Absolutely.
it's like, make time for the stuff that you are passionate about. The stuff that you're passionate about was what you were supposed to be doing
Exactly.
on this earth.
Get after it. You got to find something. And it's frustrating because I've been in that phase too, where you're just like, you're working a job and you're putting so much of your time and energy and life into it. It starts becoming your identity in
It
a way.
consumes you, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like your free time, what little you have is like spent like recuperating, then prepping to go back to work. So you're like in this like cycle.
Yeah.
And on one hand, you're like, I know I'm missing like so much. Like I'm missing.
But it's got to be more.
Yeah, it's like that carrot on a stick in front of you. It's like, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. But on the other hand, you're like, I'm literally doing what everybody has always told me exactly to do, which is like, go and get a job, work that job, and then you'll have 2 years before you're dead after you retire to like enjoy your whole, but like, so it's easy to stay in that because you're doing what you're supposed
To be
Yeah.
doing. It's amazing.
And so to reject that is bananas.
it's people think you're crazy.
wild.
They
Yeah.
think you're crazy.
Yeah.
People, what are your thoughts on like getting married? Is that something that you ever want to do?
I don't like care for so long. It's never it was off the table.
Yeah.
So I
course,
still
right.
struggle with like, oh yeah, I guess that is kind of for me in a way because forever it just wasn't just that thing's not for me. And I was never really that stressed about it. From an equal rights humanitarian standpoint, yeah, that was some bullshit. Like for marriage equality
For
stuff.
sure.
But like for me personally, I was like, yeah, that's not for me. That's fine. I didn't date for like 5 years when I was doing
You sound like
Portland,
me.
yeah, Portland comedy. I was like, this isn't good. Like, I don't like it. This is not fun. I hate it. I'm not good at being a partner. And comedy comes first. So I just didn't for 5 years.
So it was specifically like career stuff that made
And
you
self stuff.
and
Like it was
self-
after I lost my little sister and
Right,
like
right,
looking
right.
at things totally different. Like, yeah, just everything had a different perspective on it because of that like appreciation for life and like reminder of mortality. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm just gonna go a different way. And I was kind of like identifying as asexual at that point because I was like, I genuinely didn't have like
an interest.
not
in it.
really little blips here and there,
Maybe
and that
that's
was
where
it.
I am right now.
Yeah, like, I'm just fine.
I'm at least temporarily asexual right now.
Yeah, I think it's a passing thing.
I think
do.
it is.
I think that we go through phases, and sometimes, like when we're talking about identity stuff, and like, especially when it comes up to like the queer community and LGBTQ community, it's like a lot of times those labels have to be presented as so concrete, and from birth to death, this is who exactly
Who
I
you
am,
are,
and always.
right.
And sometimes that is absolutely the GD case. That is
Right.
But for other people, there is slippy slidey stuff on this. Like
The
you are
spectrum,
different.
yeah.
If you were attracted to the same exact type of person that you were when you first started having,
You've
we would
not grown.
exactly. It would be
Not
Jonathan
grown
Taylor
as a
Thomas. You know what I mean? A new kid is on the block for everybody, and that would be it.
Joey is still my soulmate.
Yeah. Oh, and half men would be married to Babs Bunny or whatever from Space Jam. You know what I mean? Like your first crush isn't your sexuality forever. It
No, of
changes.
course
So
not.
yeah, I don't think a lot of times like we make enough room for that to be like, oh yeah, I used to be this way. It doesn't invalidate.
Yeah.
And now in this way, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't invalidate that in the future either.
Like it's just it's
I don't know.
cool what's happening now with everyone just with all these conversations being had about everything from
Yeah.
sexuality to race, and it's just like because it's not binary, it's not as cut and dry as the way
Totally.
we all grew up.
It's messy.
It's insane.
It's good. This messy though.
It's great though.
Yeah.
I know I agree 100%. It's just like because I've had I had a conversation with a Lyft driver. He was taking me to the airport, and I don't know how he got on the topic I guess said something about asked if I was single or something. He wasn't asking for himself. He was just making conversation. Like, do you have a boyfriend or whatever? And I was just like, no. And then it just got on the topic of, he was like, no, you should get out. And I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned with it right now. But no, you should. And I was like, I honestly don't even think I want to get married. He's like, don't say that. And I'm like, why is that a bad thing?
Because it's what you're supposed to do. It's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be, with a partner because it makes you happy, and you're not quite a whole person unless you kind of have a partner.
I don't need somebody to make me happy.
Yeah,
I'm
and
happy
that's
on my own.
unfortunately, such a progressive view. Like we haven't fully accepted that as a society. It's like, oh no, you're a whole person with or without like somebody sleeping next to you all the time.
Someone else's right.
Yeah.
Someone else's presence and validation. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah, because we're told, oh, they complete me, and I need this other part of my life.
No, don't say that. You'll find some. You're not understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't want to find some.
Grinning ear to ear as I'm saying. No. No, recently I've tried to kind of step back into like the idea of dating a little bit, and like I joke with like friends that like, oh, just find me a wife. Just please find me a wife. I want to skip dating. I want to be comfortably into a 15-year marriage where we argue about toast every day. We have the same argument. We have a routine.
Like, that's what I
that
want.
To me is like what I'm like, oh, how nice. When you like have your like divot in the bed.
She did that.
Take this goddamn blanket from me one more time. I'm gonna throw you out the window. Okay.
Good
night. That's what I want. That's what I want.
That's what I want. What would you say have you like as far as actively trying to date in LA? Have you tried that has worked for you at all?
Oh, just hooking up. It's just that's
hooking
how
up.
it
That's
started. That's how you start. You warm up to dating once you figure out you like somebody
like,
a little bit. What are you gonna go to dinner
dating?
with a stranger? Absolutely not. What?
Talk to somebody? Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Go to dinner. I don't know you, sir. No, get in bed.
Now let me fuck you.
Take your pants off. See who you are. Yeah, it's a little, I don't know. It's fine. I also joke that I only have like 2 types, and it's like big fat hairy daddies and mean ladies, but I also don't care which gender those are.
Hilarious.
I just
hilarious. So
things.
that's what I was gonna ask. So you have dated guys.
Yeah, still do.
Do you have a preference? Because you
Bears?
said
Oh wait, of what? Gender?
Yeah.
Not really, but I also I know I can see a pattern.
What's your
I'm
real type?
capable
Like
of-
what is your type? Like what is one thing that you will always be attracted to?
Meanness a little bit. Just
same.
ability to have an argument, because I am like combative, but like happily combative.
Yeah.
Like I am happiest with people that there's just kind of like a running like rant or dialogue going on, but I just don't understand why the fuck you would put the goddamn oven mitt on that side of the fucking thing. Because when you turn on an oven, then the thing gets fucking hot. You have to take it down every single time. If we could just have this, no, love you, sweetie, have a great day. Like it's just I need
What
that.
happened to Caitlin in her relationship? Well, it was an oven mitt. You guys, it was an oven mitt left on the wrong side. Believe it or not.
Burn down this whole house. Move the fucking oven mitt over. That is the most consistent.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. What's the longest relationship you've had?
3 years. And we're still like pretty good
That's
friends.
significant.
Yeah, like it was with a guy I knew in Vegas. And we were buddies, and we should have just stayed friends. Like we were just friends, and then we really tried to make a relationship work. It took us a little time, and then now we're back. Like he sent me a message not too long ago about like moving to San Diego, and I was like, dude, cool. Like can't wait. Want to see you. That'd be so cool.
That's great.
So yeah, that's the longest one. I did a lot. I will say this. I did a lot in my 20s.
The inquiring minds need to know what a lot
of
is.
Exploration. dirty kinky sex. Just really tried every single thing.
Yeah.
See. It's been Like
and was that was just out of curiosity?
Totally, absolutely,
Completely, 100%.
And like, yeah, just experimental stuff, like fully throwing myself at it, and like polyamorous relationships, which I'm not built for now. I know that, but I know that because I tried
3
that
people
so
you
many
tried?
times. Oh yeah, and like groups too, where it was just like so and so's got a different partner, so and so's got a different partner.
This
so
is so interesting.
So like, do you just want to date me? But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
also here's all these other people, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'll try. Absolutely.
How long did it last?
It's happened a couple times, but it doesn't suit me. So it's only like a month or something, and I'm like, God, it just
Is it the jealousy of it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I couldn't.
I'm a real one man guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm a real. I
I
just like one person.
No, I understand it. I understand that 100%. That's the one thing I'm like, Howard, and I don't think the jealousy ever goes away. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anybody who's in a polyamorous relationship that doesn't feel jealous.
Here's the thing.
That's not a resting emotion I want to have
Not at all.
all the time.
I've learned in some ways to divert it, to be like, like have the feeling come up, you like, I do like a lot of visualization, like therapy tools. It's like a big giant, red glaring sign coming up, and you have a choice to like address that sign, ignore it, whatever, pass it. So it's like I have learned to do the thing where it's like I feel the feeling coming up, like, ooh, okay. Like you get activated a little bit when you get jealous. Oh, just start flexing your hands a little too much.
Why is Caitlin turning into the Hulk?
Because somebody said something and I like you looked at, ooh, okay. And then it's
And
like
the oven mitt.
then you have
Let's not forget about that.
but then you have like the choice of like, how do I want to like process this emotion? Like, do I want to just like feel it?
Yeah.
Or like divert it or like send it away or whatever you can do, suppress it. And that's the thing. It's like you suppress it.
You suppress it, and then
But it's
it's
just
gonna
it's in
come out.
there. Yeah.
No, it's
And
gonna come out in a way that you regret most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like exploding out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I know what you've been doing. Nothing.
To even try that though is
People really, I think, are wired in different ways, though, too.
Oh, for
like they
sure.
can be. Yeah, I do think that there are free loving individuals, and bless our hearts to pieces. I love that they exist, and I love their love.
For
and
sure, yeah.
I'm not that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew that.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. I mean, people are complex. Let's just leave
Yeah.
it there. I don't know because I'm trying to think of like how we're discussing before, like what is it in a person, like what's that chip in their brain that makes them think that they
Like,
have
what's their
all the
path?
confidence, like and what is the chip in someone's brain that makes them think, oh, I can love 7 people at the same
Yeah.
time and
I
not
love
get
when
jealous.
my
Yeah.
partners. Can somebody else? I don't like it. I'm simple.
I'm a simple person as well.
Yeah.
And also I'm like, if I'm with one person, they're gonna get on my nerves enough, right?
Yeah.
Than to have 3 other people.
Yeah.
No,
Feels weird.
It's too many emotions. It's too many like things that being in a relationship with one person where you have to be like, oh, I've got to be considerate of their feelings and their schedules. And now you just add more people onto that. Now I got to
Yeah.
be considerate of them too. And their
This is so petty, but just
I'm here for it.
telling your stories to more than one person, that is exhausting. Are you kidding?
Just
How
come
many
to my
times?
show. I'll reserve 6 seats for all of my lovers, and you guys can get my story there.
Come, yeah, share notes. You know what? It's open book. You can bring your notes. You want to know? Just come and that's also an exquisite nightmare of having somebody that you're like maybe dating or whatever, seeing like,
No.
come to us.
Do you have people that you've dated been like,
Only in the very, very beginning.
I want to come?
I had 2 girlfriends, like
And
one
they
after
were-
the other. At the same time, they came to early shows too. Early, rough, Candice.
Wait,
rough.
were you dating? You were
One after the other. Like right when I first started, I was like, I'm back to dating, and I wanted a girlfriend.
so you were
and I
dating
was
both these
like,
people at the same
no,
time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying one out. Yeah,
Yeah.
one and then the next, and they came to like early shows, and that was exquisite. That is a special kind of cringe pain. Like that's a 4 a.m. cringe. Where you're just like barely, oh God, just about to, oh, not off. Oh, I said that in front of God and everybody. She was there.
Do you?
Bombing in that first year of comedy is a different kind of bombing.
It's a nightmare. And if anyone had ever asked me to come to a show in the first 2, 3 years even of me doing stand-up, no.
Yeah, I still don't want. I don't know.
She's like, I still don't want
I
it.
don't want
No,
to.
I don't
I mean,
want it now, but
no.
at least now I'm like, I know I'm funny.
Yeah, you
At
have
least
your
where it's like,
security. You're
you
like,
can,
I
I'm
know I
not
can-
scared of you and me not doing well.
I'm the boss of the boat.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just don't want, like, you're at my job now.
Yeah.
You do want me coming to your job?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is. A
It
little
is
bit
weird. And I feel like I see a lot of these male comedians at the store, and they just have lines of women waiting for them after.
For what?
And I'm just like,
Okay.
It's just to
This
me
is just
not a
gonna be a-
productive way to meet somebody. It's never. It's
Not
like
at
you're
all.
coming from a groupie standpoint. It's just this
They're
weird
not good
dynamic.
in bed. There, I said it. No, they're not good in bed.
Wait, who? The male comedians
All
or
of them.
the?
Nobody.
No one's good. None of
Nobody-
those people in the scenario, Candice.
Nobody that thirsty. Nobody that like peacocking. Nobody that's like making themselves available on stage. We're like working it into a bit. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell the ladies. They're like, oh, I got this. Like, I got that. You don't.
You don't.
You're
If
bad.
you're talking
at
about
everything,
it,
and you're bad.
Yeah, if you're talking about it, it's probably lame.
Gross generalization of the day. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
I dated a guy one time who kept telling me he was a nice guy over and over again. I was like, I feel like if that's those people that have to say it, then you're not. You're saying
Red.
You're talking the talk. You're not
flag.
walking. Yeah, and I know that now. But it's
nice
like
isn't like a.
it's an overused word. And I don't even know what
It's
it means
not a
anymore.
currency. Yeah.
It's a default. That's what you're supposed to be like as a pleasant person,
Exactly.
like and consider people's feelings and just be conscious of a world outside of you because not everything revolves around you. So it's like,
Marginally civilized is what counts as nice.
Yeah.
And that's not a
yeah,
currency.
I don't even I don't know what the word means anymore.
Honest. That's good.
Honest is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that's a good one. I can't
Mean. Kind of like that already.
mean and honest. That's
More
my.
into it.
I'm sorry. I just gonna need to time check.
That was such a
We're good.
snap.
How much time? Because I want to get into another
Okay.
really quick one of your, if there's time. How much time do I have? Like, what's left? Like 5 minutes? 5 minutes? All right.
We can do 5.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and we'll just cut this part out. I'm like, Yusuf, I know. I was like, and here I am just talking. Anyway, I want to get Caitlin before because we only have like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
What's a quick one on there on your list
Yeah.
of struggles that we can discuss? Because I want to. You came in with a list, and I feel like I've disappointed you.
No, there's not much behind whistling. We all just know it. And if you're doing it, stop. In the grocery store, in the line for stuff, it's not a bird that you're making. You're pissing everybody off. It's not cute.
You're in luck with
Do
me.
you
I
need
can't whistle.
attention that bad all the time. Stop it.
Stop.
And then after that,
That was more of a public service announcement.
Yeah, that's
for
just a
anybody. It
little
wasn't struggle.
micro-
It was just more of a, just
micro rant.
Stop.
Fucking whistling to a song. That's not a part of the song.
I
sir.
feel like in your childhood, maybe there was someone whistling that
It came up recently. We went to Universal Studios, and this dude just kept making this bird sound and like this closed off play. I don't know. It's just too much. No, this is so unnecessary. I needed to
I
stop.
can't even think of the last time I've heard
Because no one's
somebody
ever been
whistle.
pleased to hear like, oh, good,
No.
somebody's whistling.
Yeah, no, it's not something I want to hear.
No.
It's like smacking, kind of in the same way. Like
Ooh,
nobody
that's
wants to.
A big one for me. Mouth sounds, eating sounds,
Do you know about? Oh, what is it called? There's a
ASMR.
yes.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. Comes across. Oh,
Yes!
okay. Oh, I can't scroll fast enough to get your mouth sounds off my.
ASMR.
Get out of my phone. Yeah,
That's
ASMR.
what it's. ASMR. I just found out about this from a coworker, and
It's
she.
horrible.
Yeah, and some parts of it are not awful. Like
Some
if
people
someone's like
it. It tickles their
tapping,
brains, kind of.
but if so, there's one I saw when she go on YouTube if you don't know what this is. AMSR.
ASMR.
Damn it. I'm dyslexic a little bit.
I get it.
So you heard Caitlin do that.
Yep.
And then just watch these videos and you'll hear sounds that it's polarizing. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
I hate it.
There was one of those women that's just eating pickles.
Oh
I think.
yeah. And then like this little I'm not even gonna do it because it's annoying. And if you like it, you know you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And I'm not gonna do it to you. But it's gross. It's gross.
You might
Disgusting.
enjoy it. So
I hate
Google it. We're talking about exploring and trying things out
Yeah.
of curiosity. You might be one of those
See,
people that
you
we
like-
just made your day by telling you about
ASMR.
that, and
Mhm.
then maybe you'll hate us for it. But look it up.
Yeah.
Smacking is a good one.
Smacking's so good. Isn't that a bummer too when you find out like almost too late into getting to know somebody that
That
they
they
can't
smack?
eat, right?
It's a deal breaker. It's
Did
a
you
deal
not?
breaker.
Where were you? Who raised you?
a
How
deal-
did you get to eat at a table with people?
That was that I watched an episode of Seinfeld just recently, and I don't know if are you a Seinfeld fan?
No, because it annoys. I don't know. It just
Oh,
annoys
really?
me.
I
Yeah.
get it.
That's not for me.
But there was a scene where it was a whole episode. George was trying to date this woman, and then she didn't want to date him anymore. Then she finds out that she might be pregnant by him. So turns out she's not.
Yeah.
But by the end of the episode, his behavior towards her when finding out that she may have been pregnant
Yeah.
was like endearing and made her be like, oh, maybe this is a good guy. Maybe I'll date him.
Oh.
And then they sit down at a table to eat, and they're like starting this new relationship with this guy that she now sees in a different light, and they bring the appetizers, and he just goes,
Nope, it's
and
over.
it's like
I'm out.
and you know, it's like that's the last time she's gonna be on this episode.
Get out of here.
on the show, because there's no way this is gonna survive.
It's gonna come
Because
back.
I'm that same. I can't. If you have no table manners, I don't know where. I stopped seeing a guy one time because he dropped frosting on the table at a restaurant, and we had a cupcake, and the frosting dropped on the table, and he took his finger
Nope.
and went like this and put it in his mouth.
Whose table was this? Just a table? Just an outside
Swingers.
table? Get out of here.
Swingers Diner on Beverly and Crescent.
And I'm sure they have an A rating. You know what? I'm sure they do.
Of course they do. But have you
But
seen
that's
have you seen the
unacceptable.
rags that they use to clean? If
unacceptable.
you've ever worked in a restaurant,
And I'm garbage. I am trash. That is gross. Yucky. Yucky.
she's like,
Nope.
as a trash person, I know
Yeah.
that is trash behavior, and I might elicit those behaviors, but
Recognize
I
it
am
when I
not going to
see it.
date it. I'm not going to date me. That's disgusting.
I've ended it on a first date because somebody told me their dreams. Like I have a bit about it, but like a lady was just like, "Oh my god, I had the wildest dream," and I'm like, "If I'm
I don't
not
care.
in it,
I don't care.
you're not." And I was like, I can't do this. 30 minutes of you just no, I gotta go.
I can't.
That's deal breaker.
You know, if you, because I feel the same way, but if you have a dream story, you better get that dream story out in less than a minute.
lickety split.
It's better be a one
It needs to be
sentence. Like,
punchy.
I
I
had a
want it-
dream last night. Like, I had a dream that I murdered somebody the other night, and that's all I had
That's
to
the
say.
sentence. Yeah, that's fascinating. Interesting.
Interesting.
You
I
okay?
wonder what it's about. Yeah, I'm good. It's
Great.
actually cathartic.
Then you move through it. Exactly. You good? I also woke up with a body in my bathtub. Probably unrelated. Anyway. This is just a dream. It's just a dream. It's a weird dream.
So I hope we have to wrap this up, and it makes me so sad because we're having so much fun. But if you made it to the end of this podcast, and
Congratulations.
and you learned don't whistle,
Ugh,
maybe
don't.
check out ASMR.
MR.
Oh, I almost
Yeah.
said it right that time. And
Chill out in the bathrooms.
And
Just
don't-
be chill.
chill in the bathrooms and stop telling people about your dreams if
Stop
you
it.
can't sum it up within 30 seconds. I said a minute earlier, and I'm gonna drop it down. I'm
30,
gonna say
yeah.
I'm gonna say 30 seconds,
You
and
can-
even that's pushing it.
You can say a lot in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you
convey
can say a lot, and try to end with a punch.
Yeah.
A little, why did
And
I
then
listen
we
to this
were
for 30 seconds?
fucking.
And give me some visual,
Spice it up.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Caitlin,
Thank you
for
so much.
coming.
Thanks so much for having me. This
Thank
was very
you
fun.
for coming. This was very entertaining.
This is
and
very fun.
you'll be back.
Yay.
Some people won't be back.
Names were said.
Some people won't be back, but I will love to have you back.
Thank you. I
Tell
love
people
to.
one more time where they can find you on social media.
At Uncle Kate, CAIT.
CAIT.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, and everything.
And stay tuned for the movie, which was called
Timmy Failure.
Timmy Failure,
And
Disney.
hopefully that Colbert said.
And not hopefully. You don't
I
have
know.
to get-
That's where I'm out in doubt. Maybe not even when it happened. Go watch Candice's if you haven't already.
You are so stupid. But yeah, watch it. Listen to Caitlin.
You're so funny.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to The Struggle. Again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms. We're also on YouTube now to watch the video. Subscribe there. Rate and review us on iTunes. And tell somebody about The Struggle. You can find me at Jokes by Candice on social media and CandiceThompsonComedy.com for my shows. And last but not least, make sure to watch Lights Out with David Spade. I'm writing on it. It's a great show and it's fun. Bye.